Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever on the day. Welcome back to Social Media Review uh, from Voice of Salone. Uh, Glad we are back. Um, for the past 3 weeks, we'll not do any broadcasting for a variety of reasons, coincidence with the end of Ramadan, then storm in Canada, where the producer of the show lives, the city where he lives in Canada, then coincident with some another public holiday. So we are back, glad to be back. I think this is the fourth weekend. And as usual, when I know saying that me and Miss Fadima can present the show, she may or may not be on board. And today, but don't be surprised if she's not present at the moment to start the show, but don't be surprised if she get on board somewhere in the middle of the show. So today is May 29th, 2022. So we hope, as usual, we will get a very good discussion. The question and answers, the calling in, the commentaries one I can send, and the live participation, all are very welcoming ideas what we always encourage from people. So that said, I would like for just point out to Una some of the topics that we're going to be dealing with today. There is trending on social media uh, a tweet put out by former President Koroma that he was approached or contacted by the current Vice President Juldeh Jalloh concerning President Koroma in participation or engagement or assistance in helping Sierra Leone forget a seat on the Security Council. So apparently he must, or he seemed to have what it takes, or the current government must think in participation or assistance is necessary for soliciting in help. So he put out this bid that this information that the government want for making assist. And he, in fact, so that's going to be our main topic. So anybody will get any interest in discussing it, in participating in it, it will be great for you for call and give you comment. I get me on one or two comments that for make. I think it's a good public relation uh, information to be out there that Sierra Leone is interested in getting a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. Um, it's good for the country. But I was reading President Koroma in statements, and with respect to him liking comparing that with developments that that he used the phrase, if the control room can put it, you say, for me, this is the former President Koroma, for me, anything regarding Sierra Leone's development is a matter of priority. Let me deal with that statement there. I am not sure, and I stand corrected, and I would like a differing point of view, that if we are, in fact, attempts to get on the Security Council to get a permanent seat, is that a move towards development? How does that uh, help us in developing a country by having a seat? I get my own personal opinion that I will render, but I'd like to know President Koroma in statement where I just read say anything concerning the development. So we are not talking about, say, a multi-billion-dollar company like Amazon, like Google, or any major conglomerate. They talk about kind of Australian what we call development, because they will hire people and then go improve infrastructure. But so when President Koroma say anything concerning the development, I wonder if he said that, but he actually meant anything concerning the exposure of Sierra Leone in go participate, because I do not like it. I don't think development by being a permanent member or a member of the UN Security Council has anything to do with development in the country. Now, I have a personal opinion. First of all, in the general scheme of things, with Sierra Leone being almost last in everything, we don't need to go over the history of Sierra Leone, in the sense that since independence, we have not done anything what we were really proud of on a national scale, with a few exceptions, like where the African Cup of Nations, performance was kind of impressive. It aroused the national pride and spirit. People were happy. Were glad to get something of for excite. And we at the moment situations like that. But when it comes to great achievements like structural development, like infrastructural development of this kind of thing, we haven't seen any of that since independence. Almost everything that we've had, everything has not been managed well. Everything is declining. The economy is declining. Physical structure, yeah, roads are being constructed, where to some degree you call on development, but they for be related to other type of development, because we just open roads. People don't eat roads. People don't leave roads. People don't wear roads. When people are sick, roads might just be helpful in terms of taking them from point A, who's then sick, to maybe another point for them to be seen, but we don't have any strong evidence of that. So I'm a little bit concerned about the statement by President Koroma that anything will pertain to the development, they liking that, and they say, for me, anything regarding Sierra Leone's development is a matter of priority. Then he say, as long as it brings pride and honor to our beloved Sierra Leone. Well, we need more than pride now, because we've lost our pride for a while. What we need, if it be, as long as it lifts, it brings economic prosperity or progress, to me that would have been a better statement, because nobody eats pride. Pride doesn't do us any good. We were once a very proud country. We are lagging behind. So I think the former president, got that wrong too. As long as it brings pride, I will not be particularly proud that we're a member of the Security Council, but I'll be very proud if we can achieve some economic successes, if we can achieve infrastructural successes, if the lives of the people can be lifted, if the medical system can be improved, if the educational system can be improved, if jobs can be created, yeah, well, then we'll be very proud. But the UN Sierra Leone being a member of the UN, I don't see that as, for me now, personally. It wouldn't matter to me, because in reality, it does the country no good in the grand scheme of things. There are many other things that Sierra Leone should be concerned about. They are wanting a permanent seat. Now, my take on this permanent seat push is what we are good at doing. We lack, forget then, connection with the international organization, because nothing the UN and all these people do for we without giving us money. Money is the sole motivation. Because at the end of the day, Sierra Leone is pushing for a permanent seat. What do we bring to the table? Now, other countries have participated: China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, United States, and some non-permanent members have been Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana, India, Ireland, Kenya, Mexico, Norway, United Arab Emirates. But all these other countries that I've called, Sierra Leone doesn't fall in the league, these non-permanent members. Sierra Leone doesn't even fall in the league, not even with Kenya, not even with Ghana. They are way, way ahead of us. To them, they've achieved so many things. This could be another thing of pride for them, and it may fit into the general scheme of things. But we, with respect to, we are last in almost everything. In fact, we are beyond last. If there's a category for being, because back home we can use the phrase dead last. But if there's a category for being last than last, that's where we are. So if we are talking about pride, we national consciousness for the focus on waiting for do for let people and become proud Salonians. Who is going to go around and say, hey, I'm a proud Salonian because I have, we're a permanent member of the UN. I mean, what does that mean to the ordinary man? What does that mean to the country? Other than it enables those in power to be able to get funding, grants that will be utilized in the wrong directions. All it does is brings money to people, monies that are not being used into put into proper use. So now in the grand scheme of things, this is what I see. If we're pushing for that, because on a scale of preference, we should even be talking about wanting a permanent seat. We get too much. When they talk about deforestation of our country, when they talk about devaluation of our currency, when they talk about the health condition getting worse, which we're struggling for improved educational system. We're talking about massive pay disparity, where driver, the electoral commission, they make money past a professor or a colonel in the army. I mean, we have so many things, and this is what amazes me, that I just see sometimes the government, not only this government, even the previous one, they don't see governing as a means to uplift the spirit and the physical and economic condition of the people. They see it as an opportunity for grandstand. When you read a grandstand, now where there is no substance attached to which you try to do, you want to get this impression that you're doing something great. So we need for call out then things there to people. So many times you see big headline, a Sierra Leone judge appointed to some court now, what they call. Yeah. I mean, but what does that mean nationally? How does it help the country? What contribution in terms of even intellectual contribution do we get from all? We've been going through this a long time. I can go way back as the time of Dr. Karfasmat in the 60s. He worked for the for the World Health Organization. He was a director, big time, well educated. But at the end of the day, what did Sierra Leone benefit from all that contact, all that education day? What did we get? Even the area where we born and grow, where we come out. How many people ever get the Karfasmat scholarship for go school, for go elementary school? How many scholarships did he give? So we need to try to stay away from this grandstanding. People are not to do much for we people then, but yet every little posturing one for blow them out of proportion. So that said, I'd like for people to also realize that we are going to be opening the line early. So people, if they have anything to say, can start calling. So as far as I'm concerned, the lines are open. So please feel free to call anytime you wish. And the phone lines are, we have a toll-free number, 866-944-7722. We have a UK number, which is plus 44 203 239. Sorry about that. 239 plus 44 808 91 455. The UK number plus 44 20 808 91 455. Australia plus 66. Australia plus 61 29 09 84 337. I repeat, Australia plus 61 29 09 84 337. And of course, on WhatsApp, it's 1 343 997 5828. Please feel free to call. The lines are open, and we welcome suggestions, discussions, any idea. So, again, let me just summarize within the main topic, encouraging people, even if you don't call now, you can call later about that. And that is, there is an attempt by the current government to use the stature of former President Koroma for gain a permanent seat in the UN Security Council, and which is a good gesture. From a public relations standpoint, I think that is extremely good. I think maybe from a political point of view, it's good to know that the former president and the current president and the current government are working together. It's also good to know that when you leave government, you always can be as useful and have a lot to offer to the current government when they seek you assistance or contribution. So these are all very impressive, and I give the current government a lot of credit. But in terms of substance, I see no substance in the gesture, in the sense that, first and foremost, in the priority of things, Sierra Leone does not now, maybe in the future, after we put our house in order, Sierra Leone does not now need to gain a permanent seat in the UN. And like I say, even though certain countries in Africa they'll gain permanent seat there before, some of the countries, if I may name them, because first of all, you get China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, United States. These do not come as a surprise because they are permanent members. The non-permanent members who have participated on some kind of a rotational basis have been Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana in Africa, India, Ireland, Kenya in Africa, Mexico, Norway, United Arab Emirates. But if you listen to the names of all the countries, even the two African countries, Kenya and Ghana, Sierra Leone, by no stretch of the imagination, comes close to any of this country in terms of any type of development, infrastructural development, economic development, none. I mean, so these countries, we can't even say, oh, Africa. So Sierra Leone will get to priority wrong. So that's why I am just injecting my own personal opinion that the only reason why I think we are pushing so hard to get a permanent seat, because almost without exception, every time we're involved in this type of participation, we are being given grants because we are considered not being able to sustain ourselves financially, even though realistically we can. The means are there, the resources are there, but we let this thing for play poor, always stretching with hands, so we are a begging nation. So this is another form of trying to get Sierra Leone for get here and get there. And when they send the money, and when we get them grants, then and it becomes a secret. There is no transparency. They don't tell us how these monies are used. They don't tell us what they put them to. And then when a press happen to get a leak and expose people as to how some of these monies were spent, then that becomes another a matter of a different issue. Like they will claim it's a threat. So if anyone out there has an opinion with respect to why it is important that of all things, in the general scheme of things, that we need to be, we need to get a permanent seat. Now, the UN Security Council, I would greatly appreciate somebody calling, because we are all here to educate each other. So even with the broadcasters, no know it all. So please feel free to call. Now, Ms. Fatima don't join we, so I don't know if she has any comment to make before we go to another topic. Welcome, Ms. Fatima.
Thank you, Mr. Shilon. Thank you. The people that are not really listening because I was having difficulty signing in. I try to turn off me WhatsApp right now because it's beeping and clicking on the thing. But like I say, I don't know the topic where you've been talking right now, and I think it was. I think what's in the trend, if I should not mistake, now the president, the vice president, visiting the former president Ernest by Koroma for help, for endorsement, so that we could get a seat at the council, right, the United Nations Security
Correct.
Council, and
Correct.
I don't hear beaucoup people their opinion on social media, but me people on a crucial again, on a cabo, on a thank you for always being here with us on VOS, and it to me it is a good beginning. Some people they say it's too late. Some people they say why now? Some people they say let not be say Ernest Koroma one sell out. Some people they say well the SLPP they get something up their sleeve. Everybody they talking young, but to me on belief and me on way there are different ways to fight a cause, right? And long time in America, because I will use America as example because I am there. And whenever they fight the cause for racism, whenever they fight the human rights, the women's right and women's right to vote, equal pay for women and all that kind of thing, and one of the two people them we become part this racism business in America, we benefit for black the rights for vote and all that kind of thing, then we get two main people them women then at the front. You get Malcolm X and you get Martin Luther King. And me not the type of Martin Luther King. Some people Michael X say an eye for an eye. Now that kind of way they like how religion say where before Anabi Isa, who is Jesus Christ, came, they said, okay, we're gonna an eye for an eye, but then he can't teach, Jesus can't teach, say, turn the other cheek. And for me, I believe say it is a good move. For me, it is waiting and Koroma do. I think it's the right thing to do as a countryman, as a statesman. I think we get for support we safe. But the problem where I cannot understand why the people are going this way, some of the people are going this way, and then it comes from both sides. It comes from the SLPP. It comes from the why if I go meet up, oh this that, matter be able to sell out. Well, yeah, baku things they wouldn't say. But to me, I believe say it is the right thing to do. We're gonna make the country because we dey try for fix Salone. We are all about pushing Salone forward. We are all about how did we get here and what we go get. We don't see war don't come senselessly because people they not grieve for shaken. Yes, we know say where President Bio come, he start from the gates and go after. Yes, we gladly say even they go after corruption. But then we noticed that President Bio was not going after corruption. It was just vendetta, and all politicians then where attach themselves with President Bio, where they go for unfinished business. This is my call, this is my understanding, and this is how I see it, and I interpret it as I see it. And we don't get all dirty politicians the way we don't dare, when they get unfinished business, like I can compare Baby Bush with him Papa Bush. When Papa Bush was there, he had those old Republicans. We get this kind of evil in them. Okay, so when the son come, because the father, George Bush father, number one, the father, he was only elected one time. He only one time president. But then when the son came, all these other old politicians that were in his father's administration, then come together for come and influence baby Bush, President Bush, the son. And President Bush, because he respects them, because he trusted them, he went with their thing. That's why we were stuck in 20 years of war plus in Afghanistan. Many lives have perished. Many lives are disabled for the rest of their life. Many people are disoriented, displaced, all this kind of stuff because people refuse. Everybody's ego is on top of them, not allowing certain things to happen. So to me, I believe say it is good for go reach out. Maybe yes, they could have done it sooner because President Bill talk of cohesion, nation cohesion, and you were sitting on at the chair, you were there in charge, you were not the leader because I believe in leadership. And if anything is not going right, we go back to the leader. Leadership, if leadership not strong, if leadership not firm, if leadership not serious in the business way, therefore the business is not going to go forward. But still, again, I say, gladly where I sit down there because me like for see peace. Me like for see we come together. Me like for see we walk for push Salone go before. Because the Salone, like we can say, we were sabi history. The Salone where we sabi and the Salone now are two different Salone. So this is what you know me say. To me, it's a good move, and I applaud both gentlemen for taking and doing the right thing. This is just me. That's what I think. So, Mr. Shillon, I pass it back to you, sir.
Yes. Okay. Before you come on board, myself feels it's a good gesture for the current government for whatever reason. I will not second guess the reason, but the appearance looks good that the former president and the current president, they are working together for what appears to be um, a common interest of the country. But as I said, because I don't make your analysis before you come on board. Your analysis was in the general scheme of things, we do not need a permanent seat in the UN. In the general scheme of things, we get too many things for be involved in than wanting a permanent seat. Then you ask yourself, Sierra Leone, considering we stature in the world, we economic status, what do we bring to the table if we get a permanent seat? I cannot think of anything, not even intellectual power, because other African countries then get serious, more internationally recognized intellectual heavyweights than we have. We are lagging behind in almost everything. So someone needs to call in and give we the pluses or the pros for wanting to make as a priority for wanting to make Sierra Leone or give Sierra Leone a permanent seat in the UN Security Council. But I take the position that now we do know that every time we are placed in a position like that, the European Union will give we grants, the UN will give we grants, and other bodies will give we grants. So the push is for the money, and then there will be no transparency. Whatever we get, they will be tight-lipped about it. So it has nothing to do with uplifting the lives of people in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone getting a permanent seat in the UN will not add to the quality of life of a single Sierra Leonean. Zero. So to me, it's a meaningless publicity. It's a meaningless effort. The mere analysis down there. Whether in games, the government and the players, and not let them play it, but we get for call it for what it is. And to
But
me,
then,
it's
what is
just
the
a waste
job?
of time.
What is the job of Security Council? What is the job of a Security Council? A Security Council, because for the longest time, African countries have been out of all these kind of things. And in fairness, I mean, we need representation. But again, the question is, if we want send a seat at the Security Council, Are we ready to practice democracy? When are they the United Nations Day off? Are we ready as Sierra Leoneans, as leaders, for make the people and stop trampling on the rights of the people? Because when you be security, you dey go watch, you dey go overlook what other people then they do. You dey go make sure that they do the right thing. Are we doing the right thing for us? Are we doing the right thing for our people? Because before we go clean other people or go turn watchman to other people, we get for fix we own. Are they working towards that for fix we own before we able there inside the Security Council? Is it a power struggle, or is it just like how you say for the money? Are they really sincere that they are going to try to push democracy in the world? Because that's what they want and they deal with. Every country they inside the United Nations, then they get small council there. Yes, Africans have been saying for a while, and I know some of the countries, I don't know, technical team, if you can look that up for me and put it out there. Some of the African countries are already in the UN Security Council team. And so, but when you want to do that, you should be like excellent. You should be like the country where believe in human rights. You should be in the person where not a trample on people their rights. You for believe in say every Sierra Leonean has rights to everything, not to just one particular stuff. You're not for believing nepotism or practice nepotism. You're not for believing abuse of power. You for believe in transparency, accountability, and cut off fraud. There are many things that makes you for stand out. They can nominate you, you can go there, but will they pick you? Do you have the qualifications? So maybe that's why they're reaching out to Ernest Koroma, because Ernest Koroma already they out here and he was former president. Then they try for use him for try for put Salone on the map. It is a good gesture to me. It is a good thing because it's never too late to come to the table. I can fight with you today and come to the table tomorrow if it is the good for meets the goal of the cause that I am fighting, or we're on the journey we're on. But the question again, sir, is what is the role of the Security Council, and is Sierra Leone there? It is a good thing. I want to know we did it. I want to have for Fed. The question be, is it sincere, and is it, like you say, for the money? Is it for the good of Sierra Leone? Well, we're not a magic man, we're not a God, we don't know what's in their heart, but only God knows. And with the pray, it is the right thing, and with the talk, if the intentions are pure, we pray for that day. And but then there are many qualifications we go make we waiting. My sister Asi, thank you. Asi say let me begin today. Thank you very much. I go me create origin me for thank you. Yeah, but you see where I'm coming from, sir. So some people have the Malcolm X approach: cut your enemy, kill your opposition. No, opposition and the one within a government for work together. But unfortunately, some of the people running the government, they don't know that. They don't understand that. And that's why people threaten people. That's why people abuse power. That's why people, because they don't know opposition. Everything they get from the opposition will not get unopposed. Long time either they say unopposed and pick and win. Nobody not team up against them. As long as there's an opposition, they are part of the people, and the president serves the people in the opposition and the people in the party. So it get for no national cohesion. That's one of the requirements for being able to get a seat at the table. And we don't see the European Union and the US, all the things that they don't like on we abuse and disrespect of human rights. So I don't know if we're gonna get it, but it's a good move, and I pray it works. But let's see, let's wait and see, and let we support. Sometimes we have to heal. We have to heal as Sierra Leoneans to move forward. We have to heal. Our country, we're broken, we're divided, we're so divided. And I made an audio the other day of talking about what I see on social media and how people just maliciously malign people, destroy people, all in the name of politics. And I referenced the shooting in Texas. And 19 Pekin and died. 19. Then kiss them, mama, then goodbye, then drop them off at school. They say, see you later. And can you imagine some pikin say, Mama, I want McDonald's. Mama, you're gonna buy me McDonald's after I come from school. The mama or the father or the grandma or whoever dropped that kid say yes. And then few hours later, they call you that you picking them at the morgue. You therefore go identify a 6-year-old elementary school, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old picking them. Somebody that is derailed, somebody that society failed to think. And then you have the laws, you have the people that make laws where they suit only one particular kind of people, where they favor one particular. These are the things that bring the unrest in community, society, and the world, like what we did so. Because people don't understand that you cannot for so long marginalize one set of people. They will rise up and they will do what they do. We don't know what to do this, but what do. And many a times we have seen gun violence, and we know the NRA, the National Gun Rifle Association, they lobby these people that are in power. That's why they say your vote is important, because who you put in power, who you give your money to, support a candidate that will go fight your cause. Una left for give money to people them when not they make una life then change. Una support people them when una life they change. Una support people that when they bring change, we go benefit society, not to what in they benefit one particular group of people. And this is the dilemma we're in the world, and this is how America is. And some parts of the world are saying, then get crazy people then. But why they not they do the mass shooting like how they do in America? Because we get rifle them, we get weapons them. When a war weapon, when you open one, it is shoot at such a second. You get that machine round, that machine gun round. When they blow people, they up. When they kill people, them. You know, they say where you go na the pistol where you get on the M9 where you get where they shoot them, you just go boop one at a time. And they go to the chamber, you click back, you go to the chamber. So there's time for save people alive. But when you have these rifles out there, these military war weapons out there, and people are in possession of it, and they're saying of their Second Amendment rights to bear arms, yes, everybody get a right to bear arms. I carry a card. I get mental weapons card in America. I can carry my weapon and I will protect myself. Yes, I have the right to protect myself in my home, my space, or if I feel somebody can threaten me. But I will not go out there and say you forget all this, what they call it's your right. But then there are sometimes when our rights trample, when the rights come, when they among other people, then we get for sacrifice and give up some of our rights then for live in harmony and one world in the world. And this is what we are doing in Sierra Leone. The same thing applies to us that we're doing. We have forgotten. We don't remember the senseless war where we go for 11 years. People cannot recover up to today. We have these kids out in the street. They are strung up on drugs. They have been used by politicians. They're out there trying to make a living. Some their mama died, their papa life. Some their pikin be rebel. We have some among us in the diaspora that their behavior just showed, demonstrate that they're rebels. We have them in Freetown that are saying, we're going to do this. We're going to kill. We're going to make sure. We're going to wipe on off. We're going to wipe on a generation up. We don't do that in a civilized society. For goodness sakes, this is 2022. No one person get right over the other citizen. Whether you poor, whether you rich, whether you're educated, whether you then obey, whether you then at the state house, no one person has a right and a monopoly over the country in sovereignty than others. So we get for begin thinking and thinking day, because if not, we go continue. Yes, we know say some people in the bell curve, we get majority in the middle, then we get some to the right, we get extreme to the right, we get extreme to the left. But the majority of people in the middle, and everything we do, we get for try for include the majority. The other one, the way they out, we can try for work with them, for try for bring as many can. But we cannot continue. We cannot continue with any kind of behavior. Yeah? We cannot continue with abuse of power. We cannot continue and trying to take your opponents down because now you there in power, you can make up story. We will come to the mayor and say, well, reach to Sudan. But we cannot, as a country, if we are serious in moving Sierra Leone forward, if we are serious in new direction, as President Bio said, if we are serious in fighting corruption, let us fight it right and let us do it right. So now that day I get to Mr. Shillon and pass it back to you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Just quick comment because you be catch some of the things. Yeah, we did talk about some African countries that have served in the UN Security Council. So we don't analyze that. We mention Sierra Leone. We mention Ghana. We mention Kenya. So some of us just to try to forget idea. The non-permanent countries, then we participate and we'll get seats in the UN. I repeat, I will repeat and two times before. Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana, India, Ireland, Kenya, Mexico, Norway, United Arab Emirates. Among these countries, there are 3 African countries: Gabon, Ghana, and Kenya. But some of these countries have done extremely well economically for themselves and for their country. But talking about we Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans, we are just concerned and we want input in the order of things when we look at all which we need in Sierra Leone and all what we are capable of doing that we are not doing, from destroying the environment to deforestation, to depleting with fish they at sea by Chinese and Korean, to the lack of employment for college graduates, to the non-existence of industries, and on and on and on, to the high price of living, to the low, high cost of living, low income earning in the country. With all of that, with the healthcare condition as it is, and so many other things, what good is it going to do us to have a permanent seat on the Security Council? To me, this is just unnecessary grandstanding if that energy that can be spent on trying to uplift and improve the lives of people. We talk about a country where the average income is about $40 a month, the average. You get people who work for a whole month for $50, $500,000. We talk about a country where that person is not going to be able to afford a bag of rice at the end of the month. So for some people like me, it bothers me in the sense that government getting priorities wrong. It bothers me in the sense that the people still are not being cared for, and it's almost like insulting the intelligence of the people, particularly the one that we learn book. Because when I hear President Koroma talk about development, how is that a development by being a permanent member of the Security Council? It has no correlation or connection with a country developing. It go give even the fame. I don't know where that will take us. Nowhere. Because what it takes, you get to be economically successful for you to be recognized and respected in the world. So that some of we on comments down on it. And I think people who are focusing on the pettiness of the whole thing, at the politics of it, they still don't get it. Because these 2 people are insulting, in my view, the intelligence, and they are not prioritizing right. That's not what we should be pushing for. We should be trying to get industries. We should be trying to make ways our college graduates can be employed. We should be trying to uplift and raise the wage, the standard of living of the people. Wages should be raised. We should be trying for reduce tariff. We should be trying to and then the fee. I'm thinking of the name when you get for pay when you come at the ports. Those things should be going down. we should try for put some value with currency. These are all important things that government. These are things that will affect the lives of people, you know. But we left all line. They will say we want a permanent seat. So somebody needs to tell us if we get a permanent seat, how does that uplift? How does that improve the lives of the people? How does that have add to the quality of life other than the grand standards? I mean, the top guys there, like President Koroma, like President Bio, like the Vice President. Yeah, maybe the people will know about them, but it doesn't do anything for the country per se. Absolutely. And if we're wrong, please call us because we like for educate yourself, make we know more. Maybe there is something. And but me suspect say this will lead to some grants. Because what are we taking to the table? Economically, we had nothing. We're not to bring any particular expertise to the United Nations per se. So somebody needs to tell me why in the general order of things, we need to have a seat, you know, when there are many other things we can root for. So I think we've beaten that horse to death, unless Ms. Fadima has something else to say. We'll move
Yeah,
on.
I want to add something. I want to add something to what you said, Mr. Shillon, because there's another tweet that on Friday, with President going to Equatorial Guinea, because the AU had a summit there for the humanitarian summit and the pledging conference, and with President pledged 500,000 US dollars for the cause. So I just want people to know. And we having people fighting for salary. We having, you know, when you say, is it what the people benefit? When we make pledges, we spending money what we not get. 500,000 if you get to Moss or to Bill Gates, na nothing. It's just like one chicken change, like where you give $5, 5 cents to somebody, 1 cent to somebody, or 0.1 cent to somebody. But the president pledged 500,000 US dollars. We picking them, the teacher there where they teach them. I hear them say they get for strike on Monday. Today, I don't know if they not today they say or next week or something. Because they know they get paid. The people they know they get paid. The people that the way they do the work of Salone, they know they go pay. So I don't know if like what president can make them pledge them or like where any president do they have the sole rights for go pledge on behalf of us, or is he using his own personal money for doing? Now, his own personal money they put there on the country money because when we are in this economic distress, what they can show. When we have governments that will not be subsidized for the people for both for the economy, yes, price don't go up. Right now, price don't go up, gas don't go up right now in America back. And the gas get to go up back to we people then. I know say when you pledge, you know they pay 1 10, but that debt you don't go put you more inside the debt. So is it that President Bio is going to sacrifice his salary where he don't work for 4 years? Because I don't know, because I don't know how much they take it, I don't know how much they pay with president. I don't know. I've been on try for Google, but I'm not able to find out how much they pay the president. And but if I Google, it will tell me how much they pay American the president. Because at the two countries they were belong, they are the two countries they were they are the use as example. So I they ask the question, is it our money? Because you talk of where they fed for them thing, they need money, they get for give grants, they get for give this. Does the president have the sole right on behalf of the country, the people of Sierra Leone, for just give and say, yeah, I they give 500 million, everybody they raise their hand, or does he have to go through parliament to approve it? We parliament now for we the people. I don't know because I really don't understand. Maybe somebody go help me understand because when I don't understand something, I try to ask for that I understand. So maybe then I will make me decision or say what I want to say, but I don't understand. And then they've been kind of when you talk about money and grants and all that, and that make. I think Mr. Shilon will say you get called, sir.
All right. Let me take, let's take at least one call so far, and then we can continue with discussion either on this topic or some of the other topics then. So, hello, caller. What's your name? What's how you call from? And thank you for calling.
Well, listener Mustafa, they call from France. And let God bless
Okay,
you now
thank
Yeah,
for this
Mr.
wonderful program. And let God grant to now the good one that they wish for we country. Or to now precious time the owner they take for the calm enlighten we the Sierra Leone and them and the people of because Salone now the media and our state capture. And God bless you now. And una they try
thank you,
for
sir.
talk about this Security Council, non-permanent member in Security Council. The only two women know say get for happen, and not get for benefit with the Sierra Leoneans them per se. Like what you talk, Mr. Shilon, they get for benefit the one the way they up because they get for the give and then kick back for certain bills they wouldn't go and pass. You understand? They get for they bribe them because corruption they. And therefore they bribe them secretly, therefore they promise and then big promise. So then go the day no more like them backbench like them the whole get na parliament. Where then say I don't know like hey now no more now they don't work now they get for the part. Not to one serious thing they get for the part. One serious thing and not get for go there for one serious thing because you know we can't keep what we get. Now wicked leader they will get. Because if not a wicked leader, then like what Miss Fatima they talk this now, you don't go and promise that kind of belly money there. Look with teachers then they under. Look police then they under. The 30 days they not give them the rest about 9 months according to my understanding. As time to be corrected. But you don't go and promise that kind big promise there. Subsidize for people that una need to do them. Una they left people and they suffer, but una they enjoy. Every day una they fly. Though you get people in the country where say they elect Salone, but then they defend the president in everything that happen. Look, this soldier man, I don't know what I post so. I don't know actually if my own story right. They say they kill an ayanda for rest business, but me not able to forget the actual story. But I'm able to hear a new self. You know, now God no more go help we. This we don't then our where they go. We don't know how they go land self. We load na boat. We need to see land. We just they go no more. This is where we go. But how we go left we country now for we picking them? We grand picking them tomorrow. They go for actually we roll the whole play. Not all now because now they can play on our role right now. Yeah, Miss Fatima and those other people now all now they play so for change. We self waiting now as young one them. Waiting now we all the play for less alone come out one time. It are trending, but let God bless you now. And God will continue for guide you now and give you now the blessings so now deserve.
Amen.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Miss Fatima.
No,
Miss
go ahead,
Fatima,
sir.
you again? Okay.
No, I just said.
Okay, let me touch on something very quickly because we just show a picture of a soldier which seemed to connect with which the gentleman just the only reason for this picture being posted is because we too have no verification of the story, but it's a social interest story that this actually happened. So we strongly encourage people then who may have more information as to the occurrence itself, if it happened, to please let us know because we do not want to be part of broadcasting anything that has no basis in fact. So please, that picture was posted because it was sent to us that this is a man who is a soldier who lost his life because he raised questions about rice, where they're supposed to forget what they not get, and they said he was shot right there and killed? If so, we'd like to know more. If so, it concerns us. If so, it's a scary situation. One thing to keep a society in order, you have to maintain peace and tranquility. But peace does not mean to oppress the rights of people. Peace means to enforce the law. Because without the enforcement of law, then we end up with chaos, and everybody for himself, God for all. Not to the situation any we want. So anytime we hear anything like this summary execution of people, somebody being killed, and this is common occurrence. It used to happen under the APC government. In fact, we do recall that a high-level military officer, a general, was killed in his own house. And to date, nobody has been prosecuted. And there are strong suspicion as to who may have been behind it. These practices have to go. It's not good for the country, And we don't see under the SLPP government, where it was just recently when Prince Hardin was accused of having shot some security guy. He had somebody to shoot. They just need to stop this kind of practices, because the lawlessness itself is symbolic of this government as well as the previous government. So people should be brought to justice. When you take matters into your hand and take the life of somebody, the system should take care of you. So we just want to put reference and perspective to that picture there. Let it not look like for say we are spreading anything that is unfounded. So we just put on there. If anybody get any information, feel free to call us. But we cannot confirm that someone or this particular gentleman who's been shown was an active member in the Sierra Leone military, and that he was shot on the spot because he raised questions about rights where they're entitled to away no get. So that said, let me go back to some other topics. But before I do, I want to make sure Ms. Fadima don't exhaust the issue of this permanent Security Council thing before we move on.
Yeah, I mean, we can move on to the next topic, sir. We can move on because, like you say, now hearsay, now allegation say, now because of race, they shoot him. Nobody deserve for die. Nobody deserve for die because if not so it be because he speak in mind. Even when you do something wrong, you therefore go to the court of law before then condemn you to death, which will not get the death penalty again as Salone. So nobody not get the right for take somebody else in life, and then we sit idly by and watch it happen, and people then go scotch free because we get then think them way they want the way then a power can say. I go make you or we get influence to power or we get connections now the country. I will kill you in a buff case. Nothing not they come up behind that. And their attitude, and they now get for kill. Their attitude, and they now get for say no, we know they accept them kind of thing. And then substandard behavior, yeah, we get for change. We get for come up at that barbaric, that nonsense slavery. We be the grumble say the slave master, then they do this to we, do that to we. But we safe to we safe now. We they do this to we safe now. Not to the slave master again, no. Not to the white man. No. The white man, if he did behind say we safe for don't get sense for say, you know what in me company deserve better, me citizen deserve better. No, we try for able for build we own country, so we're not gonna go bigger because they go tell waiting for 3 years because they go bigger to them because now the citizen the money then they take for give we own money where they get we own governments they not sabi for make and for lay benefit we the money back when they go bigger they give the shame to themselves, they put one drop inside the bucket, they take all the rest 1%, then take then give you 1%, they take 99%, so I mean we get for if we really love Salone. This is not about party. I don't hate President Bio. I want let President Bio succeed. Because when he first started, I was cheering him on. I never voted for him. I never cared about him. I never voted in Sierra Leone before. I never did APC. I never did SLPP. I never did NGC. But if I see something, they can say, okay, when I give this man chance, God sent him for a reason. He came a second time for can make, and I always used to say, President Bio, God has given you a second chance. It is to redeem and redeem yourself and redeem the people of Sierra Leone. And I ask and the question, and I will say again today, President Bio, who say you one lay your name then at the history of Sierra Leone? Do you want your name to be written in the Lion Mountain, or do you want your name to be on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean where the wave go and wash them away? That's the question I used to ask him, and I still continue to ask him. It's not about thing, it's about doing the right thing. It's about giving everybody, open the field, give everybody a fair playground. Then let everybody, will not satisfy all man, but let majority of the people able for live in decency and dignity. Let them able for afford things them. Let them get a government will care about them, will care about their well-being and their needs and their whatever. When they try for say, let's work together with the government and the people, because government is for the people, by the people, of the people. So look out for the people. What in the not right by the people, go to the people, not just go to one particular group, go to the people. Ask them the question, what's in your problem? Hold town meetings, not political rallies, but town meetings where people they go team up, they're able to ask you question, then tell you the problem. You say, okay, I don't hear your problem. I will send whoever responsible for that. That is what they call to me, that is what they call you care about people. So now that day I therefore say, Mr. Shilon, go on to your next topic, sir.
All right, ma'am. The next topic that we have has been concern for what you will call erosion or the sliding backwards of, we get what you will call constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, that all we activities and all we laws them should be within the confines of what you will call the constitution. And that constitution, they not even parliament get the power for make any laws will go against what in the constitution prescribed. But of course, like I say many times, we're still struggling. Forget we on basic understanding. I'm talking about even those in the legal field. We still not get a grasp of what the Constitution is. That it is a framework, it's just a skeleton for the larger mass or masses of laws that we want for enact, for protect and guide our country. So what we have done to start with, when we draw up the Constitution, we conflate, meaning we mix up what you will call statutory laws, or statutory laws that the laws that we, the act and the laws that we parliament pass, and statutory law can also involve ordinances by the city. Statutory law could also be administrative declaration by the executive when the president exercises a certain administrative power given to him under the Constitution through Parliament. So all of those, and then also decisions by the courts. Now, what you would not do, we don't put into Constitution a lot of excesses, a lot of unnecessaries, a lot of things then that do not belong in a Constitution. Those fall under what you will call statutory laws. So we are still struggling with grasping the basic understanding of a Constitution. So this is now one of the problems we get in Sierra Leone, where we get for fix in terms of getting a good understanding of a Constitution. Now, because people know the lawyers are not taking full advantage of the Constitution, and partly because the court system is a little weak, which is supposed to be an equal arm of government, but the power in the judiciary is so highly diluted that it has not much ability for carry out the obligation and the duty. So all under the create problem in the country, and it lead to more and more lawlessness. And the amazing thing also is the fact that the president seemed to be very tight-lipped about a police chief who promotes lawlessness. I don't know of any other way for put up, and and the president doesn't seem to care, or doesn't seem to want to know. And you cannot run a country that way there because it is dangerous. You know, they should take things seriously. Now, talking about that then constitutional violations, then there are certain observations that we have managed to make and just see how things are being done in the country. One main thing we concern now how people take matters into their hands. For example, there is an incident, if we could ask the control room for play a video of a young man who was killed in Bo district over telephone where they accuse him of say a thief. And next thing you know, the boy was killed. I mean, there are several aspects wrong with that situation and that story there. So if the control room can play the video, we will continue with commentary. Control room, please play the
He say, Grandpa, he say, this you, Bobo, where they are, this is Grandpiki. He say, you don't teach phone. I don't ask and say, he no answer at all. Now he tell the Grandpa, tell the man, he say, make let I talk to me Grandpiki. He called the Bobo. The Grandpa asked him Grandpiki, now you take that phone. Now the Bobo say, he say, Grandpa, I'm not able to talk to Saturday right now. He say, the talk said the Bobo is talking. Now the pa, he say on the phone, he read the man strike the Bobo again. Now the Bobo is. Hey.
The school bobo where the man killed for phone. Now they go back so. When I watch your man, what see they happen at the wall. See, and the school bobo and the where the man killed for the phone and woman. Now Mombi na Bo, this happening. They are need justice. Government help with this case.
He say, Grandpa, he say, this you, Bobo, where they are, this is Grandpiki. He say, you don't teach phone. I don't ask and say, he no answer at all. Now he tell the Grandpa, tell the man, he say, make let I talk to me Grandpiki. He called the Bobo. The Grandpa asked him Grandpiki, now you take that phone. Now the Bobo say, he say, Grandpa, I'm not able to talk to Saturday right now. He say, the talk said the Bobo is talking. Now the pa, he say on the phone, he read the man strike the Bobo again. Now the pa tell her, say, no Peter. He say, I go send to the Bobo in Papa, let pay for that phone. He say, the Grandpa say, he and the Bobo in Daddy no dey na one ton. Apon Kailan, bien Kailan, ton self bien dey na dey. He say, from now to 7 o'clock, he say, you go get from me whatever I get from that part. Now he say, okay. Around 7 o'clock, now Grandpa call Mr. Bunduka. He say, I know able get Mr. Jangao when at the Bobo in Daddy. He say, na morning, he say, why not get on today? I go send to her na morning. We do clean now. Na morning, he say, they read Quran. If they read, this same man, Mr. Bunduka, now he called the Grandpa. He say, Pa, I sorry you. Yeah, he say, me don't go take transport for give Mohammed like come, but I don't meet Mohammed don't die. Now he say, boy, not tell me that word, that bobo not die. He say, that bobo don't die. Now in the past, now you don't kill that bobo. Say, he say, be they cry now, they shout. people that can near her. Why they explain give so? Ele don't also today. Now we on that in your last talk with Abobo. He said we all get for die. Today, like how all what happen? They don't kill in Grand Peking for him. It's okay. And that did this.
Yeah, they say get one picking. I don't know if I want. For phone. If daddy tell and say no, let me be that picking. I will can't give him money. I don't know about the shot this morning. And it's to the bodies where the man keep for phone. Try the Bobo wait for seat right there. And daddy with the blue. And daddy transfer the blue. My grandpa is with this guy.
All right. All right. Now, here, there is a whole lot wrong with this scene. Let we start first with the health aspect. Here is a young man who was killed, and according to the narrator of the video, he said this afternoon, and it looks like the young man is already prepared to be buried. Well, this again, sometimes this is where good governance comes into place. First of all, we need to stray away from this traditional Islamic doctrine that when one dies, he has to be buried within 24 hours. Society has come a long way. There is no sensible religious reasons, and people can take issue with me. I'm just as much of a Muslim as anybody else. That someone has to be buried in this day and age within 24 hours, particularly when the person died under suspicious circumstances. In the proper order of things, when this Mr. Bunduka called the Bobo in Grandpa and said the Bobo don't die, now for that structure system, that when death occur in that way, that the police first should for call. And then first for kind of the scene. That's one. Two, why are attempts being made to go bury somebody? We will not see any presence of law enforcement. We will not see any presence of medical team, emergency services. So what system do we have that someone can be killed and apparently for religious reason, they are getting ready to go bury the Bobo without establishing the cause of death? So my disappointment a lot of times, now which we educated people, the Minister of Health, where I'm sure in department cover Bureau of Vital Statistics, that are birth and death, there should be established rules in the most interior part of the country that anybody who died should not be buried without the involvement of medical officials. You see, then get a complete absence of law enforcement, you not see a single police, as to or for indicate so there is authority to deal with the matter. We will not see any indication of somebody being arrested. And we hope if somebody gets additional information, please let us know, because these things need to be brought out. And this kind of back up the statement where I can make. When we politicians, they want for deceive people, they begin to talk about tribalism. This now in the heart of Bo district. What has happened? This young man is as Minde as they come, under a government that is run by Mindes. Where is the civil right? Where is the human right for that body and in family? None whatsoever. And so if you get any heart, what should it matter if this bobo na be limbalo or timini or impairs them? Anybody who loses his life under such circumstance is irrelevant as to what tribe he belongs to. So when the tribe begin to play this tribal game, somebody should be bold enough to tell them they should not insult the intelligence of people. So this is a classic example of how we are doing very little, if anything, for people. And it goes across the board. And no matter what tribe you belong to. If you're poor, you're poor. You just treated that way in Sierra Leone. You know? And it no matter the tribe of your president, you're not going to get any protection any more than anybody else. So I will hope this video being shown, will enable people to come forward. And here is another thing that is taking place in the country. And somebody needs to speak out about these things. This is the reason why I have problem with Chief Sovula. I don't understand who said this man learning police, getting police training. Teachers who are being grossly underpaid, grossly underpaid, are trying to strike and call the attention of government because government refuses to. And when I want to beginning for be educated, but we don't want to pay the teachers who are legitimately demanding not only the pay they are being underpaid, but the underpayments they are not even getting when the payment is due. And what does Chief Sovula comes up with? Threatening to arrest them. The man has no feeling, no sensitivity. He should know you don't run a government and that you can't threaten people. This is what leads to unrest in a country. And I have always questioned the extraordinary or extraterritorial power of the police chief. Where does he get these powers from? That he can override people in constitutional right to strike or to protest. And why isn't the president saying anything about that? And why is it his Attorney General advising the president? This is some of, there are so many things about this government that really just make me not understand. You get all these high-powered holders. They have all these degrees. And these guys don't seem to know the left and the right. You get an AG. Shouldn't the AG step in and say, Chief Sovula, hold it. You overstep your bounds. Shouldn't the AG tell the president, Mr. President, this not look good. We need for, and tell AG Sovula, I know he'd try for help but he's going too far. He'd breach constitutional rights. So, I mean, what is going on in Sierra Leone, where the police chief now has become a government in and of himself? And he would just, the last time the police chief say anybody will bring pepper spray from abroad, he could get arrested. So these are some of the things we should be concerned about. So when we talk about constitutional protection, I mean, we talk about people taking matters into their hands. Is this how we want the country to run? The police chief can do what he wants, not get to follow the law. People should kill other people's children. Teachers are not to be allowed to strike even when they are not being paid. And then the possible way to make that determination as to whether they strike or not is the chief of police. Now, if we permit that, we are setting the foundation for nothing but lawlessness. Chief Sovula needs to be reined in, and he needs to be told the perimeters or the boundaries of his power. You know, everything you hear about the man, he is just going the opposite direction of what his job prescription is supposed to be. I hate to really criticize some government officials per se, but it's hard to just see this man just doing as he pleases and seems to be getting away with it, and the president saying nothing. And you get all the high-powered former professors and PhDs there, then a cabinet, then they go there, and they claim all that deep big, and then these are the people making all this noise about fake degrees. How better are you people than the fake degree holders? We will not even get the courage for stand up and give the president the right advice. You know, what happened to the word resignation? If you come up with good ideas and the president is not taking it, what you happen with that integrity there for step down and say, I'm not part of it. I'm not part of this team. You know? So these guys can't come and be talking about all them lofty degrees here we didn't get from universities, and their performance are at the C or D level, and they expect people to respect them. You know? So talking about fake degrees, I need not even refer to some of the respectable people in the country. We seem to forget that, you know. So we are bringing all here to the attention of people. Let the government know, say, things are going wrong for the ordinary people. They are not being looked after. And with all this going on, with one permanent sitting at the Security Council, we're not going to do anything for that young man who lost in life, or that young man in papa, or that young man in grandpa. And so what did the law provide for the loss of the Pekin, in addition to the criminal conduct or whoever kill him? You know? And why should anybody even have the power or the right for strike anybody with thief from you? You don't hold the bobo, you don't call them people them. The grandparent tells you they will take care of that. The bobo, there's indication that the bobo was having difficulty talking, meaning that he was being strangulated somehow, you know, and something tells me he was being tortured. That's why he was unable to talk to his grandpa, and probably couldn't survive the torture and died, you know. So I will hope people who listen to this broadcast, please, when I need for fill me in on what may have followed. Was any arrest made? Has anyone been charged? And waiting for get more detailed story, because we have to look out for the ordinary people. Because it look like the system is not looking out for them. And I will use this as an example. When these politicians come and start playing the tribalism game, ignore them, because they are insulting you people's intelligence. They don't care. They don't care about making lives better for now, regardless of which tribe they belong to or you belong to. All they care about are themselves and their family, their wife and picking them. You know, Ms. Fatima, I don't know if you get any comments.
Yes, sir. I've been trying for I've been trying for I pay thing up 1 cent to the thing about okay, I don't see them. I will share out with this the team, so please, technical team, I want why they talk, please, if you're able, quick, just show this for me, yeah? And you're talking about long-term hold within a salon. Long-term hold within a salon. The police get respect. The police, they get their holding allowance. I mean, they're the people keeping the peace and protecting the rights of citizens in the country. Okay. You say no police, no military. Right now, as we speak, according to Sierra Leone Loaded, I have the thing we just come up. The police, them, say that they strike for 300,000, which is like $30 or 20 pounds or now within a Europe or whatever.
The police.
They strike for, yes, the police.
The teachers
the police
or the police.
The police force. The teacher, they don't make a 21 days strike where they say
right.
they don't
All right.
to them. But now the police themselves are going on a strike. This is why they're claiming that Chernobyl is national security, because he's exposing and people are speaking. And people are saying, if they pay all this money to them people, yeah, what about us? And that is why they come up with this letter way where Africanist press they interject before they reach to the side for reach for the right people and pull him. They put her out there. They say he's a threat to national security. Now the police then they say they don't cut the money by 300,000. They know they give them waiting for give them. They don't get good condition of service. They don't get all that stuff that they according to Sierra Leone law they wouldn't just post na them page. They say the police Sierra Leone police they're safe. They can go on strike then safely if they not try for negotiate with them and come up with waiting and therefore come up. And you know, people are not afraid for kill people no more. Long time when they come up, they say the world don't change, but at least we get culture, at least we get respect, say life we know able to make. But we country need for heal, we have suffered war and they have neglected the poverty rate, the this rate, the that rate, all that kind of stuff. Then there are many contributing factors where they make them tear they happen like how they happen. So and you talk on this police commissioner where it troubles me when a man that is the lead of the police, where for do the right thing, where for set a perfect example, they don't call him, accuse him, according to Professor Kutubu, people they don't can, they don't show land, so rulers said, don't begin billows inside people they land, then they part the land grabbing. Another thing don't come out with Dr. Lahai come out and talk them fake biggie and he explained how Sovula they inside this what they call and Sovula then go pong na Kenema they go open the school after all they don't say the school not qualified for open they go open out other name na Kenema Sovula was there according to Dr. Lahai. Dr. Lai puts on page 6 days ago, the commissioner of police call him and threaten him. I put on the follow and see him because this is not from me. Because what they talk, I get evidence what they talk, but because they go all you say, you they give false information. So evidence there for the way you they talk. Because of the new style that you say you they misinform the people. So when you misinform the people, there's a journalist right now where the slagger they don't pull press release or whatever, say they don't detain and they don't arrest and they say misinformation and all that, good stuff where, bullying people, abuse of power and all that. And this is the man that has the evidence showing our parliaments are not doing anything. With the pay them people here for nothing. They just they take you on a free ride. They're not doing the job. And these people have been hired by us for do the work and look out for the welfare of we. The police commissioner and President Bill still keep on there because I think a presidential appointment is still keep on there. That means he's pleased with the behavior of the police commissioner.
Correct.
And this man is going around abusing power after abusing power. That's why I say he's the house nigger. Because he don't forget Usa Ikomot. He don't forget the suffering of his people. Now they don't bring a cloak to the master. Now they're in them they send for Omar. Treat the people and not take care of the welfare of the people. He threatened the man. The man said, call him. He threatened and said, let him not go Salone. If you go Salone, you go waiting and call or whatever that is. And Sierra Leone, we all get up. One person, not the old person, hostage, not for going to the land of him back, the land also in Nebustrin Bell, the land where we cannot stand idly by and silently by and get them to here they happen and then we don't say nothing. That's according to the man, that's what he said. The police, they're not they pay them. That's what they're dirty and treat so. Good uniform, long-term policeman, they statue uniform. Their shoes, their speech shine. Now you see policeman, and so they dirty and reckless. And so they chaka. You don't even see command and presence in police because that's why the people don't respect them because they take under the table, they all depend ricochet and dabaru business. Long-term with afraid for let fly safe for let you kill a fly with afraid. Now the people are not afraid for kill person. To them, it's nothing. They will say, I will kill you. I will kill you. It quick. I mean, for fun, for goodness sake, and nobody not come out say nothing. These things don't matter to them, so they don't care. Because what they do not to them, it happen to. So they don't care. So the thing waking really gets to me when I hear my fellow Sierra Leoneans, when you bring out something, they say, oh, you APC. Oh, Nana APC. oh, I don't want progress. But when things are not done right, we sit on here. A lot of us are in the diaspora. We're sitting here watching our people suffering, supporting parties that are not benefiting us. Everybody they try for being noticed by the people up in the Enshirad and the big bosses, so that they go pick them out, because we get people among us that have been picked and they've gone. They were the ones singing the praises. So when you sing the praise, they will pick you and can't go let yourself go eat, because nobody no one for work for nothing again. Everybody wants easy life and easy money. It is sad. The policeman then they know how they not go take a bribe. How every morning they're not going to team up, they arrest them people. It is no excuse for wrong. Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. There is a saying we say, not because everybody they do men say not wrong. Wrong is wrong. Right is right, even when people are not supporting right, right is wrong. Even when majority are supporting wrong, wrong is wrong. Then we get that, now we scold them, then we understand the concept, then we know, and then we get the courage, and then we get the fear of the Almighty God will make we. Then we afraid. Then we afraid. But people, I don't know what we have become. I don't know whose kind of life I don't know the experiences of people and the traumas that have caused in their life. People don't care no more about national things. Things are happening. We just sit down and watch by and just don't give a damn. We just care about our little family now the corner until the problem meets we now we do more. Then we want jump and holler and hoop and cry. It is sad. The police then the NEPA side, they say 300,000. Then the rest you then forget about that they force. Then the president don't go pledge 500,000. Then we then talk, does that make sense? Does that make sense? We're not to take care of we own business force. We have fears. We get forgive people, their family. Hey, domestic violence, if they get good statistics where they do, they go show and say domestic violence don't go up. Domestic woman, then they left their man there because the man they not able to feed them, because with society then they teach say, although the woman they now then they also but they teach say now man nine for feed woman. So then one they will not get no way for get income. Then they left their man then go to them boyfriend. Then we see a man naked in company the other day. He say in girlfriend. This man get away from a house. This is what the society we have become. He get a wife, according to the person who narrates the stuff. This man had a wife. Then he gets a side chick, a girlfriend where he rentals for. The girlfriend dates somebody else or sleep with somebody else. He go there, according to the person who narrates the thing, puts the person under gunpoint, naked arm, and begin ask her all kinds of stuff and cussing, mommy calls and all that stuff. He gets a wife now home. He gets a girlfriend on the street. He want to control the wife, he want to control the girlfriend. They say now they pay rent for the woman go sleep with the other man. He call, take the man in phone, the woman in phone, he call the other man come in naked. I am the video is out there on social media. Humiliating another man. For woman, when not you wife, when not you married him. Even if now you wife, you sleep with him. If he do that, then you don't have no right in the world for do that. But he takes upon himself, because we live in a lawless country, because we live in a country where the police and they inside the pocket of the rich, and the one that will get influence. Things go, you go let complain, you go turn you will get the right, it will turn to wrong, because the one will get the wrong, it gets in pockets deep. Naked in company, naked. Well, why should we allow this to happen? That is criminal behavior. That's violating the right of that man. It is wrong. You don't own your wife. You wife not on your property. If married no right, if love done, let man go away. But you cannot go another person. You don't have no contract with that person. Now, here your wife send paper, here your man sign paper. Now to get contract, you go take somebody else for humiliate them because you can do it. And nothing that they come out of it. That's the country and the society we don't allow for happen. What we say. Until it happen to we, then we go see what we talk about. Until it happen that you do not, then you go see what they talk about. Then you want let people fetch for you. Be that change you want to be. No wait saying that Joseph they can make an Afadima go can't change like this. No, you come up and speak. Be the change you want to see. Stand up. Call wrong out when it's wrong. Call wrong out. The policeman, then they pay them, then they arrest the driver. Then we see driver and police, they set. Quick, they don't go pull the driver, they don't take the driver because they set and disgrace the police. Because when the money come, then they road the traffic police, then call and booking. Everybody they get the book. Every driver when they pass, they sabi every driver that they route. If you not can pay you money by a certain time, then they take advantage by they take you motor car, you bike or whatever. They go left you na station, show you the losses because you not give them for that day. Then they put you inside the book, they write on a name every day. Almost everybody they give. They know about it and they continue to do it. Nobody is saying anything. But then, would you blame them? You know, you look the other side, you look the other side. They trying to survive. Corruption is going to continue because the things that cause corruption, we continue to encourage that, we continue to look the other way. So we all they say, President, they say fight corruption. How we go fight this corruption? When we say self-correcting, corrupting our mind them and we touch them, and how for talk the truth, we corrupt. Mr. Shilo, I'll pass it back to you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. Yeah, well, like you say, well, first of all, let me start off. I refuse for belief for say then cut the police the salary by 300,000 leons. I don't want to believe that because it will be the most cruel thing them people do, or the most ridiculous thing the government continues to do if it is true. Because at a time when the police are being grossly underpaid, you think of deducting $30 equivalent almost of their salary, where it makes such a huge difference. That 300,000 leons there, if you put 150,000 leons on top of that, you get a bag of rice. So I hope it's not true that they in fact take away from the people in salary, because that would be cruelty as far as I'm concerned. Secondly, when it reaches a point when the police themselves are striking, it's a clear indication that, again, we don't care how people live. And as Ms. Fadima said, corruption should be tackled in a way that has been closely observed and how for preventative. Because it's a vicious cycle, the way it looks. The police are not being paid adequately, which forces them to take bribes, but beyond that, for harass drivers, because which pushes them into coming up with lawlessness themselves. And I do not understand how a government can tolerate that and expect anything for the better for happen. But let me take a call at this stage, then I will continue my observation. Hello, caller. What's your name and which side you call from?
Yes, Emina Olatunji Mese, I call from Texas.
Yes, sir. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yes, so yeah,
That's a veteran of the year.
Good evening to all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so
go ahead.
Well, I call because I get three things the way I would just like for touch on quickly. So I don't want to take too much of our time. And if I may,
you're welcome.
And
go ahead.
Yes, the first way I want to talk about, because I don't listen now today, I make the opportunity for listening to that today. I want to talk about freedom of speech. I noticed Salone becoming a Salone man. I go Salone every year. That's home. I get love for Salone, even though I don't retire from the military. I noticed Salone, one of the biggest problems is freedom of speech. Why I say freedom of speech? Like the ordinary people in that country, they can't say waiting there at their mind without them really worry, say, of some type of injustice. I believe, say, we need to go back to freedom of speech. Everybody get the right, as long as they do something bad against another person, or do something illegal. Now you born right. God give everybody the right. I may God give us a mouth, yai, and yes. Every Muslim man get that freedom for talk. Every Muslim man get the ability for see, and every Muslim man get the ability for listen. So I think we need to focus on that freedom of speech because the way the country they go now, more and more they see then they suppress people from that natural ability we God give them for say freedom of speech, waiting they go on at the country. So not to say things they need to go on way wrong, but more and more people in afraid for speak out on these stakeholders there, so then keep people there so they in positions there. The second thing now the freedom of the press. One thing you notice, what I noticed about Salone, there anything about the press. We get a president, but they get press release, like how you get in America. Wherever they go on, you get a secretary where they in charge of the press. We go to inform the people in the country, whether na money or finances or education or ongoing things, them or projects in the country. We not get no freedom of the press. They see the press, they inform the people of anything where they go on at the country, not even the president himself. They come on the press or talk to the people. How can you run a whole country? You need to even see the presidents on TV about issues that will matter to the country. And last but not least, we're about a year out from voting at Salone. But you need to see anybody where they campaign, where you go say, okay, the opposition, this not the same goal for the see who that will be the person will go emerge as the next opposition party for the election team by now. In America, we know say we use them for campaign season, a year or two out, midterm voting, things like that, etc. You go must not begin to say this person also. Now they challenge the current party. But Salone, there anything they encourage them for vote. I think that back now the other problem. People that need for able for say a sustainable government, where they work hand in hand. You can't forget the opposition party because opposision party now they force the current party for do the right things. Now then 3 things and I get today where I want just touch on small.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji, my brother. That's my Texan, that's my veteran, retired, 22 years in the Army, 21 years in the Army, US Army. Congratulations, my brother. Thank you for your observation. And I know this one, Apostle Lex Salone. He's a guy that loves Salone. They go Salone to them for a year. They build a Salone right now, and when you're doing those kind of things, you employ people, you pay taxes, you do stuff. So, it don't in America from where it's small, but it's still loving culture, it's still loving people. But people are thinking of going back, but going to give back. But how do you do it? When then team and they were in labor, when are one of the biggest thing them in a nation where we not gets that freedom there for do certain things, and you go there, your anxiety level go up, and because that's all you're gonna think. If I say this, they're gonna arrest me. If I do this, they're gonna do this. If I do that, this is a country where we don't go by now. People, we say we want independence. They left us with a foundation, but we left the foundation rotten and broken. It does they crumble, and nobody has done anything to fix it. These people are striking. Policemen them. Not them, they put their life for save we property and save we life. And then they put their life on the line. But the policemen, they don't get standard right now to me. They don't have, when I see them, they just like that. I think I've been sent a picture. I don't know if you're gonna get on it, where the last time where they show policemen them from different countries them. I don't know if you can download that the technical team, but you see the soldier man policeman. So it's slack and you don't even get standard. You don't even get. It looks so shabby. There's no pride taken in the uniform because you go pay buy stature where you don't get money for eat. But then people don't have pride in what they do. They don't take pride in what they do. You get for being looking good, speech, dress like this, speech shine shoes. But you don't even see that. But then the government don't take them serious. They don't let them go. 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 Then they give themselves raise. Then they give themselves what they call them. But the police them when they sacrifice their life with something big, then a first line defense. Now then when they call the soldier man themselves they grumble they on a corner. The teacher then they grumble. The doctor and nurses when they save with life them they go all man then a corner then they feel disgruntled. And when we don't look at these things, when we don't take these things serious, when we start trampling on people and disregarding people's concerns, it becomes a problem. Let God help we all. Let God help we country for letting leaders and see. And I'll be wise. Mr. Shilon, to you, sir.
Thank you very much again, Ms. Fatima. Yeah, the gentleman we call Mr. Olatuji. Yeah, we have observed that one day. But in fact, sometimes even if the people do not get the freedom for talk, if then they see their life, they change for the better. And the thing that amazes me is how far behind we don't fall. And how these guys who work in government keep bragging and showing off about their degrees when they cannot produce anything. Nothing. This is the amazing part. These guys come, all of them want to be called Dr. this, Dr. that, and they cannot produce a thing. They cannot handle anything. I challenge any PhD holder within a government today, with the head any department or any ministry, for proof to me say, since he take that position the way he hold now, he has improved that department there. Whether you're a minister of health, you're a minister of lands, you're a minister of this, and disprove what you had to say. Show we the before situation and the after, since you kind of power, how you've improved situations, conditions, and improved lives. Show we. Because it's not going to happen. Because so when you guys start talking about fake degrees, they should lump all you guys together, because you can't produce any more than the guys who have the fake degrees. It's very annoying and infuriating. And then when I want to use that as leverage, forget over. When you people are so incompetent, you can't do anything, And these are some of the things that some of us are not going to let you people get away with. But let me move away, because the issues are so many. We have a situation also involving the lack of emergency preparedness. And I go ask the technical team for play with a video about an incident involving an accident na some location I think I can see about some well diggers. So let we all look at and try for throw we on 1 or 2 cents. So technical team, please help us out.
Adam Street, Wellington, at the eastern part na Freetown. This na the clothes and slippers of one Mohammed Conte, the man who been the work with in comping them for dig this water well for the past week them now. But during the morning hours of 9 o'clock Thursday, this man fastened inside this water well and not been able for return up again. This be making comping them. We been the help am for draw dirty and water from up, doubt and self-worry as to waiting go don't happen with them inside this well where them still the dig.
This morning, I need an angular machine for build water. And I no build water, the half water left no more. Now I say, okay, let's go look inside. Let's see if you can able the water no boku left. Now I begin build water, the cellar. They go at the door at the cellar. I not take 3 hours. Now he say, send the rope.
He talk to you?
Yes. He says, send the rope now, send the rope. I send the rope now. I say, hold the rope one time. Now call Sori, the man who called. Now I say, Sori, come down, come down. Go call her now, Sori, the caller now, Michelle, the caller. I say, hold the rope, like, come up. No, hold the rope.
So wait, they don't day before una left for get response from my Allah again, he like shock, like, we Allah say una help me or something?
No, we not talk so. From what he tell me, say, send the rope. Now I send her. But me, I didn't tell her, I say, hold the rope, like, come up. Hold the rope, like, come up. Yeah. No, able to do.
From about 9 o'clock morning, with this man fastened inside this water well, then we don't call police and fire force. But up to after 12 o'clock afternoon, the fire force will command them, not been come yet, who be make plenty community people been just stand up with long face them and puelats with the big question if this man will come out from this deep water well where he don't fasten within life, where you consider the long term where he don't spend inside this well.
We're in a station by this 11 something. We want Abraham Sui, come at the station. Was urgent message say somebody may dig water well at the compound. Where this person then suspect say don't drown. So upon that, we say for takes some of the men then. So we don't move look at the scene. So we don't kind of the scene and indeed don't see somebody inside the water well where the person is inside it. But like we don't make some call, the person don't respond to any call. So like we don't inform the crime officer like Kisi. We say that so the situation the Maxwell Street day. They will don't call on the fire force. Come in and come to the rescue at the scene. But the fire force they don't keep you holding, they say in the camp. So that's where we are for now, we wait for them.
After over 3 hours for wait for the fire force officer them, some people even suggest make some young man them go down this well and bring this man up. But it been clear say the police not been allowed for make this happen. According to the police, people for wait for the fire force officer them we get the sabi for do this kind of work, and that make the one them we go down for rescue this man, not go fast in the back. So people been continue for wait for the fire force workman them. And finally, the fire force workman them been come at the area nearly 12:30, but still plenty people not been sure if this man will fasten inside this well will come out with in life. As you see, the fire force workman them then use them sabi for hook this man in foot from down the well and begin draw him come up till then see in whole body, and some miracle been happen. This man finally show up with support from the fire force officer them and other community people. We draw him as the rescue process been go on. They've been able to pull this man from this well, and from waiting we see and that this man been the wink in eye and they move some part of in hand which show say he not been die yet. These key community people them some hope say this man sometime go make him from this trouble. We meet him this day as he been there about for fending living. As you see, the fire force motorcar been rush with this man at hospital for see if they go able for help him for make it nap back na in foot and tell in own story as to what really happened to him inside this well. We make him not been able for come up for himself. For Blah TV Online, Mina Abdullah Blah the reports.
All right. Here are other things then for talk about with system. This man don't get stuck in the well. Let me put aside government regulations. Apparently, there are no standards, no regulation in terms of safety for people and we engage in this type of occupation for dig well. First of all, it's very labor intensive. It's hard work for dig as you go through because the environment where you there is dark and tight. But everybody gets your own gift in this life. I cannot imagine even being in that condition there. But now an incident happened. This man gets stuck in the well. Now, let's look at it step by step by step. First and foremost, the only recourse we then get if you get stuck or if you anticipate some sudden emergency, now tell the people and say, send the rope. Now you wonder if the rope is sent, what if you are fainting? You can't hold the rope. Your ability for hold on to the rope no good day because you are subconscious. So what's going to happen? You go die there. So when you get government, the government then for think about it and try for come up with safety procedures in case certain things happen. But so people are just free to go dig well without complying with any kind of regulation, like anything else. People in the billows complying without complying with regulations. People in the do everything. That's one. Then now, incident happened 9 a.m. They called the police first because we not get any emergency preparedness or an emergency service way, fire force, and ambulance for come at the same time for rescue. Now the police people in Sudan, they wait for 3 hours. The police who do not have any expertise, the police their own job now for investigate primarily crimes. So we're not even programmed with people them their mind when anything happen, would have for call first. I they talk about good governance. I they talk about them Bukumaya. Then highly acclaimed credential guys there way say they want to run people in life in government. Basic rules they are not putting in place because they just don't care about the people. They know this is not going to happen to them or any of their immediate loved ones. You know, so regulations don't matter. Now that's the prestige. Me a doctor this, me a minister of that. I be there America, I be there England. But when it comes down to telling us what you can do with that degree that we don't get, you can't deliver. Okay, so now look at the process. The reason why we play the video now for let's see how much is lacking in our country. And I get a lot of regard for the people that we rescued that Monday because whatever skill they apply, I mean, more power to them. It's wonderful because these are people who probably have no special skills and they were able to pull that Monday. And then pull under the well when he was still alive after over 3 hours stuck there. Now, when they finally pull him, look at what happened. Not a single person get the expertise for do CPR. Nothing. There was no presence of ambulance. Now the fire truck were not made for that kind of situation and they didn't get for put the man for go now hospital. Who's are you expecting for die when are they old, now they well, and not die there? You know? Now he end up subsequently dying despite all that effort, the 3 hours or more of survival or surviving the trauma, and then this man end up dying. What a waste of effort. Now, ordinary people need to know. These are some of the things, the one that want to run government, una way things say, una is sabi for run government. These are the things, these are the mechanism you people should have in place. You know, running a government is not easy. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the fame. It's not all about the fortune, which 99% of you guys are the sole motivation that one day. That the sole motivation now for get fortune, fame, and reach yourself. No question about it. I mean, everybody knows that. You know? Because we don't say we know better. But you people just don't care. But again, yes, another classic example of an ordinary man who should not have died, but he ended up dying because the system is not well equipped for save lives in situations like that. Not a single performance of CPR. Nobody knows what to do. No ambulance call. I had somebody who died for a well. 3 hours in the waiting, not a single appearance of ambulance. The Ministry of Health, again, not playing no role there. Not a single appearance of health ministry. Not a single appearance of emergency services. The fire force people, I still give them a lot of credit, even though they came there late. I would not take anything away from them because they have to do the best they can under the most strenuous situation. I can tell say they don't get what it takes, you know. So we figure say we for sure that also we just show how things are not working right in the country and why it is important that we all begin to look past Sierra Leone one get a permanent seat in the UN, why we for begin look past APC or SAPP, because these people are failing people. Why we for begin for look past, oh, you know this tribe, you know that tribe. It doesn't matter. You see, these guys don't care about people. All they care about now power. And even the power, they don't structure them in such a place because there are countries where people use power and then they are still progressive, you know. So I hope we see and we learn from a situation and let we know how much we're lacking. So when I can begin to tell you about having permanent seats in the UN, brush it off. It's not that important. So I just want to bring that. Ms. Fadima, you have anything out there before I take a call?
Yes, sir. I want to talk, but if you want to take the caller first, you can take them because I want to talk on that
Okay.
safety measures.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
take your caller
Yeah,
first.
hold your thoughts. Let we take a call.
Yeah. Yes,
Hello,
sir.
caller. What's your name and who side you call from?
Good evening again. This is Food Mustafa. They call again from England. You know,
Okay, Mr. Mustafa.
thank you.
Thanks for calling
We
back.
bring this now a point of interest like this last one on our show. Now the thing in this way we they talk about where then they talk say we get government. This is right in Freetown. Imagine. So if somebody in a Freetown, you get problem, ambulance no day. Then the president they go and make say, oh, we don't count ambulance services. Oh, we don't make. Then you look at the reality on ground. See, inside free to ambulance, they say day. Somebody for done well. Nobody is saying let ambulance go take that guy or let them get any emergency. This is Freetown we are talking about. Imagine Usain Bendugu,
Yep.
where there is nothing like a car or communication or whatever. The person for don't do again any emergency. Then this is what we call governance in Sierra Leone. And then they go and say, oh, we get this ministry, we get environmental or whatever agency, they get 3 million agencies. And this is a proof of why these agencies are not working, only for paying people. Now, the salary is not important to them. Nothing else is important. So, if somebody, now look, this is now 21st century, 2022, somebody they for done right inside Freetown, they not see no way for let them go rescue them in the next 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And now, after the guy they say he don't die. So look at it. This is Freetown we are talking about. You see, this is what we're talking about. So we know say governance, everybody just centered about salary. Like I always say talk. If Salone people they use their brains, because this problem already happened at Salone, because people are not using their brains, they're emotional about political parties, they don't want to say we move forward. Because in essence, this government would, I'm not talking about say the other one is better. They not even deserve for even go for campaign say, oh, we want to win governance again. Because you see, health you have not improved. They talk about the economy, of course. Everybody knows you so waiting at the impetus where they tell me say I want go as the president again. This is what I'm talking about. So I don't understand exactly why somebody they think say it can come to governance only enough for his salary, improve things is not his business, and at the end of the day, he's going to count on his tribes people to vote for him in power, and these people are living in abject poverty. Look at the houses of Sierra Leoneans. When you go even in other African countries, not only in the West, these houses in Makeni or Bo, these are village houses that people they dwell. There's nothing like sanitation. Once you can dig in latrine anywhere, one dig up. And this is where people live close to this, this bacteria. Then they live together. They say this is 21st century Sierra Leone is moving forward. And look at all these indices. They say MCC say, oh, for health, we'll score 50%. We'll make this. Then they give them, say, oh, I don't pass. Then the people are happy. because they say that I cannot talk. What about the young people? What they are saying? You have not improved their lives. Then how are you? Your conscience, how's your conscience judging you? Anyway, now this thing I just want to react upon. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much
Right.
for calling
Right.
back.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Ms. Farima, back to you.
Yes, sir. You talk about that ambulance. I want to give you an incident first. I want to tell the people them. A few days ago or last week, yeah, the beginning of this week, I don't remember again on social media, they put out a picture on the one of them forum because they put me over 30 forum. I don't even know them. Some of them I don't pay attention to it no more. But I just see this ambulance and people in the talk, oh, Ali Kaba donated an ambulance to a town, one town upline, I don't forget Usai. And they showed the ambulance and I say, wow, that's nice. I say, but what's in the inside the ambulance? Or some guy come out there. You see on America, you they can't ask what's in the ambulance. At least the people them, below man that they get, they don't get transport, then they work out, they put on a bike for go. At least we get vehicle where they make them. I say, what is an ambulance, sir? I say, me question to you, what's in an ambulance? Ambulance na first respond emergency vehicle where they can do the work till you reach you na hospital. I show him a picture of an ambulance. I show him what's inside an ambulance. I say ambulance, then when you go inside that ambulance, when they come take over. When first of all the people that outside the incident and tragedy happen, when they give first step to you, then they give CPR, then they try for put pressure on the bleeding, try for stop the bleeding, try for keep you alert, you not faint and pass out, because you want for keep the person as conscious and try for sustaining life, take ambulance come. When ambulance then come, what thing that they do? Then they take over there. From there, they fight to save your life. They get all kind of emergency room equipment where they for try for save your life. I say, what in that inside the ambulance? I say, all I saw was one stretcher and one for state bag. I say, then you dance and say, this is an ambulance. Oh, well, you talk here that when we are here, now ambulance for we. I said, this is why we will never go. I said, because first of all, you're becoming defensive. You don't want to learn, but you accepting substandard. I said, that's substandard. And if you feel, say, ambulance, now just motor car, they take you from point A to point B, can you go left in a hospital building, we're not able to save your life while you doing that traveling from whatever into whatever, then you have a problem. I said, this is why we know the land, because we will not know, because you're not going to accept it from me, because right there, you already have, you say you don't see me name, me na SLPP, I'm a savage. Me na savage. Me na Furobe. Then again, Mende, I get Shabu inside me, but me na Furobe Creole. But then, you attacking me, you say me na APC, na the Badatspa way. I mean, this man was going at it, and I said, sir, I don't even know you. I say, now una in a village, una go to dance for the one ambulance. I say, I'm trying to help your people, but since you know they receive them, for let you go educate the next person. I say, so just put your barrier up, let me back off. Hey, I'm living good where I'm at. I'm just saying, I'm speaking for you, for change. And that is so sad when emergency happens, we don't have the thing. And I keep saying this where I can tell you now, Mr. Shilon. I don't tell him to Kutubu, I don't tell him to Mr. Kago, I don't tell him to Mipadi them. Every time I go to Freetown, my anxiety goes up, my depression goes up, my panic attack goes up, because I'm thinking if something is to happen to me, if I'm involved in something, God, I'm going to die, I'm going to bleed to death with nobody trying to save my life. Say, I have done everything I could. Now you tell me don't reach. At least I will die in peace. I'm not saying the entire. But if I die in a place where they're not able to give me that aid, where for try for faith for sustain my life, then I'm jubilating. If I'm in my house, I call the police in the middle of the night, they would not come. The thief man will go inside there and kill me and rape me and make all that anxiety they inside me. Because I suffer from it already. And I double my medication while they go, because I'm telling you, I pop pills to calm myself down. Because it's scary. And somebody fell in a hole, nothing all day. The people that know the skill where they get in a rope, now they don't use it. Person for don't know well, they use rope. So tell that man he don't broke, he don't exhaust, he don't the water, they try for swim, try for stay up afloat. All that they don't use all the energy, you not go able to hold the rope for calm. Then you call, you calm. How many hours later before help come? And unfortunately, we lost a man. And these are the things, when are the basic necessities of life. When we government, they're not able. We government, they cannot put our only mother bill. We government, they're not able to sustain and provide. Then kind of thing, and they for save we. For save we. I see another man where Mr. Tyler make a video on, he get 2 months, and he don't pop there. We don't even have the facility. We're looking for Do for God organization that we go sorry for try for saving lives. That is the country we celebrate. Those are the people, the leaders we're trying to kill ourselves for. These are the ones say, "If man better pass your own tip man." These are people that don't give a damn much we welfare. And we lie because we just a pawn in the game for checkmate the king and checkmate the knight and checkmate. That's what they use us for, to checkmate, and then they survive. They live glamorous as kings and queens, and hey, and we they suffer, they die. Simple stuff like that. And yes, people can fall down well, they can die. But then the way they call. Listen to what happened on the 4th of this month here. Where one Boboko shooting company them. There's also picking and waiting they call. Quick one. They don't come inside. Something went wrong. The reporters were saying something wrong. Waiting at the timeline. They came out there, they break the timeline. Somebody made the wrong call because egos were in play. Because somebody made the wrong call, say we don't barricade the what they call the shooter they there. While they were calling 911 and the information not transfer, they assume say because the killer is silent. You know how many other people if they be move in, go in, then go in and try for take down the threat. If they move in for go in, you know how many people for be saved? 19 people for being die. Some for die, but not all will die. They came out there and they said, we blundered. We made a mistake. They make a mistake because they calculate wrong. They made a mistake because there was a reporter there. If you watch the press news conference, there was a reporter there pressing. Waiting happened. How it happened. There were parents out there. They had to restrain them. The parents were like, if you're not going to go in, give me your combat gear. Let me go in there and clear that room and die for who saved me, Pekin. They had to keep some parents out of the way because they made the wrong decision. And they came out. 2 days later, they came out. They break the timeline. During the time when they assume, say, the killer be don't lock himself inside a room, so the threat was not to the others. When they don't clear the other one, they did not go in. They stayed in the hallway. When they stayed in the hallway, there was a phone call. The person they whisper and another picking call. Say, send the police now. I can hear the police in the hallway. Send them in here now. But the message was not transmitted properly. Somebody is going to lose their job. Somebody is going to pay for this. This is what they call waiting and cause. And that kind of environments that they would try and would pray God for. Let it be in our country then, because that's the country that we grew up. We want to go back in our country. Well, how can we go, oh yeah? Things are not in place. Then we want to talk, we affect we. We curse we. Oh, you know this. Oh, you know that. Oh, they don't give you money. Oh, they don't say. Not everybody can sell their integrity. Or my own integrity, not they on sale. You know they on sale like, oh, me own. Some people go sell their birthright for cocoa, but I don't do that. Because I value human before money. It's human, then money, then things. Say Susie Omen. Susie Omen, a financial specialist in America. He said people, then money, then things. But we they put money before people. And we don't care about people. We value money, we value people. Yes, money brings comfort, it brings things, it brings everybody looking for that because we want to live good, we want to wear that. Yes, but when we begin to put money before people, hey, what a society. Mr. Shilon, I pass them back to you, but it is a sad thing when we're not able to forget the basic stuff. Ambulance day, they get ambulance and stretcher no more day. They showed the other day where one ambulance driver If they go, if they drive now Wilberforce area or something, I think the keke, me don't know what the keke driver happened. They say by the report where the video say the man, me don't know whose confrontation they get. He go back, he come, he turn around, he come back, he ride over the keke driver, killing the driver. Yes, the video is out there on social media. I saw
Wow.
it. Yes.
So
It
real
go on top
lawlessness.
the bottom. It go on top. That's what we're saying. That's the country. That's the people. Because everybody is thinking, I mean, government in a power. Oh, I mean, government in a power. Oh, me na this tribe. Oh, me na that tribe. I can do now what I want. No, not to that country. They may be Sabi about 1963. Not to that country. They may grow up. Not to so moving day. Yes, all man be getting group. All man be with a call. But we come per one. We all day per one. But now, oh my God. It's toxic, very toxic. You go on social media. That's why I don't even go there much no more, because you go on social media. It's so toxic. And me right now, the United States Army say I should not work, I should not do anything, I should just sit down and they will take care of me for the rest of my life. I cannot go find myself anything where they aggravate me disabilities. I cannot do it. Sometimes I just cannot take it. I gotta know when to back up and just hold myself down because it's so toxic. I'm serious. It's toxic. And if you care about people, it gets to you, it gets to the core of you, it gets under you. And say, why these people, why can they not see all I can do? God, show them the light. Because some people cannot stand the light. Reveal yourself to them. Manifest yourself to them. Because they don't know, they don't understand. And they say, for lack of knowledge, we perish. We the people. No, that name is a shame, sir. But it is a sad thing. And I got cussed out this week. It was this week on social media. I got cussed out. Say, well, you there and we na ambulance for me. I said, okay. If na ambulance for you, then that's your standard. Sorry.
Let me comment. Let me comment on that. You see, ignorance is a terrible thing. So the person will say, you then are America, but this land is for we. It's shameful that you the force for improve somebody in life, it affect for they na the low level way it they even when you try for uplift them. But for the one way they always talk say you know they America, look the significant contribution would they make to people, to the economy of the country. You talk about the gentleman we call earlier where the bill owes they get for higher people. Think of all the people over there in America with the bills, if there not be the bills in a Salone, which in Salone will look like. Think of all the remittances there where people in the send go back home in the millions of dollars. If that money did not be go, how people will survive. And when I mean people will survive, not just the people who will receive it, even the people in the market, would I go buy from them where money no day. So you get a lot of ignorant people and when the talk say, well, this is an ambulance for we, you don't even get the concept. You know, if me talk in America, I see how people live. I want to transfer that level of living there to me people. Why are you going to fight me that I want to improve your lifestyle, if not to ignorance? You know? And people are go quick for accuse you, say, you know, APC, you know, SFPP. Well, Englishman say, as a man think it so easy. They cannot think above party politics. They're not to think of the human aspect. But that said, we are approaching the end of the show. So I will pass it over to you, Ms. Fadima, to see if you get any commentary for me. I don't want to be too detailed. But would I agree
Yeah.
6 o'clock?
Yeah.
So please.
Like how we talk in the beginning, or we talk on the thing where we see we want to go to the Security Council and the Vice President go meet the former president for talk on and say they want their support, which the former president say anything for nation development, he will support them. That's a good thing to do for me. To me, that's diplomacy. To me, that's love of country. That's showing of showmanship. No matter what they don't say about you, no matter what they don't call you, no matter what they don't accuse you. But when to me, it's selfless. When you put people first, because one of the values of the army in the United States is selfless service. You give selfless service. Selfless service is ready to sacrifice for the good of the nation, for the good of the whole. To me, that's a good thing for them to do, the two gentlemen. The sincerity of it is, I mean, it's for them to do, is for us to talk about later. But that's, to me, it puts out a powerful message of unity and whatever it is that it is. I mean, we get from here. We get from here from where we are. We get from here because um, it will not take us anywhere. The fighting, the bickering, the name calling, the arrogance, the condescending, the abuse of power, the fraud, the ways they abuse, the dismissing of people's feelings and people's rights, all them big rubbish, boku boku, garbage way that they do. Come to the Ivona Kisoya. They did a protest this weekend. I was not there. But the organization, Sierra Leone Women and Leadership for Democracy, they did a thing. And then we see the SLPP come out later. They went to the Sierra Leone Embassy, they went to the MCC and to the State House. They handed their letters to the people. And it is their right. It is the democratic right. And the space where they allow it. Then later we see the people, somebody's going to ring my bell. Mr. Salone, just take over quick. I will come back to you.
All right, ma'am. Okay. Well, thank you very much, listeners. We appreciate you tuning in and listening, sending in comments or commentaries, and some of you even call in. We greatly appreciate, as usual, one who can call and participate. I hope we'll bring some useful information to you and make una know about certain things and the way they happen in the country and how we get the ability to solve some of them problems today, but we know the do them. Because not to government priority down there. Government priority for go outside. They may go, but not in the order of things. Things we get a lot on the table for do. So that said, I thank you very much for coming and participating. And please look forward to next week. And so I will say goodbye. Miss Fatima is back. She will say goodbye to Ona. That's it.
Okay, people, thank you for watching. Like I say, Salone, we all own. If Salone better, we all better. And no matter who that then at the seat, where person then at the seat, let we all work together. Let we push the country in progress, go before, because we want to restore our dignity. We want to restore our standing in the world. We want to be happy country, happy people. We want the dignity of people, let everybody able for, kind of strive and get and walk back and bring the middle class back. We're going to take away a lot of the problems of life, our people, them. So thank you for watching. Next week I will not be on the show because I'm traveling. I will be on the plane next week, Sunday, so I will not be on the show. And this week here to all is Memorial Day. Tomorrow in America, Memorial Day is the day that they celebrate the people that died for freedom. People that give their life, the soldiers, the armed forces, the Marines, the airmen, the Navy, the Coast Guard, that gave the armed forces, that gave their lives. Some gave some, and we gave some. Mr. Tunji, to you too, I salute. We gave some, but some gave all. And the people that gave all, this is Memorial Day, let we reflect. It's a big holiday in America, but let we reflect and let we think, we want a better country. And some people are giving up their life for freedom. Some people are speaking, like they speak, and we become targets, but we continue to speak because nobody they drive me away from my rights and my stuff. We continue to speak. They might not like us, but we continue to speak. That is the space that we're in, a democratic country where we go get permission. They allow you for voice your opinion. And what they do is they bring you to the table, waiting at the problem, and I sit down for try for, iron out what is different. So till next week, you all will have a wonderful week, a blessed week. Unalo we continue for work towards progress, to work towards peace. Unalo we pray. Sometimes people believe in prayers. Prayers do work, but faith without works is dead too. They say, the Bible says so. So if you get faith, then they do the work. God, they can make. But when you put the faith and put the work, God, they can do it. They meet you there, and all things will get better. So I wish us nothing but the best. I wish we country, for let we just try for be, equal to one another. The coat of arms say unity, freedom, and justice for all. So till next week, if you wanna see at the shine, when I'm not jealous me as usual, I can say go work on yourself tomorrow. The cloud go over me the Sunday or to next week. Well, I will not be here next week, but Mr. Shiloh will be here. And one more thing I want to say before we go, my people. We are looking for anchors. VRS is looking for people. We want people that are in the middle. We want people that will, bring like level-headed. We don't want the extreme to the right, extreme to the left. We're looking for people like sometimes I'm not there, somebody will step up with Mr. Shiloh. Sometimes Mr. Shiloh is not there, somebody. So because that's how they recruited me, they got me from Design was like the very first ones of VOS with Mr. Cabo and Mr. Thing. They recruited me. Mr. Design brought me in. And Design left, and it was like, Fadima, you don't have to leave. You're working for Sierra Leone, you're doing this. And we are not getting paid for this. We do it out of love for country, out of love for humanity. That's why we do what we do. So till the next time you see me, by God's grace, I'll be 59. Because my birthday is June 7th. And June 7th, Matilda Cole will be back this Friday. Madam Matilda Cole, Salone Issues. She will be back. She had taken off some time off for take care of work and stuff like that. But she will be back this Friday coming, Salone Issues. So when I come in, stay tuned, support VOS. Yes, in as much as you might not like us sometimes, but you might learn something if you go in a quiet moment. So come this Friday, Miss Taro Tali and Matilda, but Matilda will be back. Our Lady Matilda, the woman that says it like it is. You might not like her, but she's gonna tell you like it is sometimes too. So I love you all, and remember, God is love. And I sign out with a salute to you all. And I salute to my fallen comrades, that have fallen and have given it all. It is Memorial Day. Go be safe if you're in the United States. Drink responsibly if you're drinking. Don't drink if you and drive. And just show some love and just have a little bit of fun. And life continues the next day. Love you all. Fadima from Texas. Come on. Oh, look at my print. You like my dress? Look at this is print.
Yeah, a lot of compliments have been coming in concerning.
Yeah, this is my print. This is print.
Yeah.
Say long term print is the Creole, not Creole people then close with and can wear. But now we modernize the print. We're making it modern. This na the Enkinta put up here, then do the work here, then again on scat over here. So it's a round scat. Look at it. Yeah. So
I don't see a few comments were coming admiring the print.
Yeah. So I'm just letting you people know. Yeah. I'm letting you know. We modernize everything. We cannot stay in the past for the long time. Therefore, this is 2022. Therefore, make it 2022. So we make not a long time. My mother be where I'm with the modernizer. But this is just thank you all. Good night.
implement and act, guess what?